Jeff Bezos didn't build Amazon to sell books. He built it to change how people interact with the world. And when you look at how Amazon has become part of our lives, you have to ask, how did he do it? In The Everything Store, author Brad Stone gives us a fly-on-the-wall account of life at Amazon, based on his access to Amazon employees and Bezos family members. The birth of Amazon. In 1994, Jeff Bezos was a senior vice president at a hedge fund called D.E. Shaw. He had a high-paying job, security, and a clear path to the top. But then he saw something in a report that most people ignored. The internet was growing at over 2,000% a year. That number didn't just catch his attention. It made him feel like he'd missed the biggest opportunity of his lifetime if he stayed put. So, he quit. He packed a car with his wife, Mackenzie, drove across the country, and began writing a business plan. He decided on books for a simple reason. Books were universal. They didn't spoil, they were easy to ship, and there were millions of them. No physical store could carry all titles, but a website could. Selling books wasn't the dream, it was the entry point. Bezos said early on that Amazon would be the everything store. People laughed. He didn't. Think decades, not quarters. From the start, Bezos wasn't playing the same game as other companies. He wasn't chasing short-term growth. He wasn't designing for quarters. He was thinking in decades. In early Amazon investor meetings, he said they wouldn't see profits for a long time. Most startups promise big returns right away. Bezos promised years of losses. He wanted to build the world's most customer-centric company, which meant investing heavily in infrastructure before it looked necessary. Fulfillment centers, custom-built software, and early shipping networks were expensive. But they were essential if Amazon was going to deliver not just products, but speed and reliability. While critics said Amazon would collapse, Bezos doubled down. He didn't mind being doubted. "We are willing to be misunderstood for long periods of time," he said. That wasn't a defense, that was a strategy. While others were optimizing for quick profits, Amazon was building a machine that would be nearly impossible to compete with in the long run. Customer obsession. Over competitors, the heart of Amazon was always the customer, not the product, not the competitor, not the investor. Bezos believed customer obsession wasn't just a principle, it was a survival tactic. In the early days, he would personally read and reply to customer emails. When people wrote to complain, he didn't just take notes. He sent the feedback directly to his teams, often with a simple question mark. That meant, "Explain this. Why did this fail? How do we fix it?" Bezos believed the best way to lead was to make your customer experience so strong that people would return again and again without thinking. That's why Amazon pioneered features like one-click ordering. It saved time and reduced friction. They created transparent product reviews, even if they showed flaws. That shocked other retailers who believed in controlling the narrative. Amazon believed in trust. They constantly lowered prices, even when it hurt the bottom line. The goal was loyalty, not margin. Bezos believed that if you took care of customers relentlessly, profit would eventually follow. Day one. Mentality. Success didn't make Bezos comfortable. In fact, he feared comfort more than failure. That fear became a core Amazon philosophy called Day One. He believed the minute a company started acting like it had arrived, it was already dying. Day one meant always staying hungry, curious, and fast-moving. At Amazon headquarters, there's a building literally named Day One. In shareholder letters, Bezos repeated the phrase constantly. He even wrote that Day Two is stasis, followed by irrelevance, followed by painful decline. To keep the Day One mindset alive, Amazon used unusual methods. One rule banned PowerPoint presentations. Instead, teams had to write 6-page memos with clear narrative thinking. Everyone in a meeting had to read the memo silently before discussion. This forced clarity, preparation, and focused conversation. Another rule was the 2-pizza team. Teams had to be small enough to be fed by 2 pizzas. This kept decision-making fast and accountability clear. Day One wasn't a slogan, it was a defense against bloat, speed, risk, and experimentation. Bezos saw regret as the only true failure. Before launching Amazon, he created something he called the regret minimization framework. He asked himself if he would regret not trying when he was 80 years old. That thinking didn't stop after launch. It became part of how Amazon approached everything. Bezos encouraged teams to move fast and try big things. If something failed, it was fine, as long as they learned and moved on. That led to projects like the Fire Phone, which flopped, but also to Prime, which changed how the world thinks about shipping. Kindle wasn't just a product. It was a shift in how people bought and consumed books. And AWS, the company's cloud platform, was born from internal tools built for Amazon's own use. It became a billion-dollar business on its own. Bezos always believed the biggest risks were the ones you didn't take. Innovation meant speed, and speed required accepting some crashes. Building the Amazon machine. Amazon didn't grow by accident. It grew because it was engineered to. Bezos didn't want a company, he wanted a system, one that could scale, adapt, and move without needing his direct input. That meant building internal tools that allowed teams to move fast without asking for permission every time. It meant investing in distribution centers that could serve products within 1 or 2 days across the entire country. It meant owning logistics instead of outsourcing. Amazon built its own delivery network, added robotics to warehouses, and developed software that could predict what you wanted to buy before you bought it. The two-pizza team concept turned out to be more than a cultural quirk. It allowed Amazon to experiment in many directions at once. Some teams worked on product reviews, others on web services. Some focused on seller marketplaces. Each unit had clear goals and could launch without dragging the whole company into the process. The system worked because it was built like a machine, flexible, decentralized, and focused. Relentless vision. Always wins. As the company grew, Bezos kept his eyes on things that wouldn't change. He believed customers would always want faster delivery, more selection, and lower prices. He built around those truths. That's why Prime kept evolving. What started as 2-day shipping became 1-day and even same-day in some areas. And that was just the surface. Amazon Prime Video gave customers streaming content. Amazon Fresh extended the model to groceries. Alexa became a new way to interact with devices. The company kept pushing into new areas, but it always followed the same rules. Simplify the customer experience, move faster than the competition, and keep making your system more efficient. Bezos even pushed into hardware and aerospace with Blue Origin. Not because it fit neatly into Amazon, but because it matched his core belief. The long term matters more than the short term. He thought building for the next generation was the only way to stay relevant. In the end, Bezos didn't just change how people shop. He changed how companies think about scale, speed, and trust. His legacy isn't just the store, it's the system. That's why Amazon has survived when others haven't. It wasn't built to chase trends, it was built to create them. If you're ready to learn what it really takes to turn your big vision into reality, check out the Everything Store by Brad Stone using the Amazon links in the description. It helps support the channel, and more importantly, it might be the best investment you make all year. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep growing, keep learning, and take control of your future.